Hello YouTube, it's Borders and I'm back with a video review, and today I'm going to take a look at the MMC Ocular Max all-in-one combiner Navigant, aka MP Streetwise from the Protectobots team. Navigant or Streetwise alt mode is a Camaro. Now I'm not sure what model of Camaro this is based on, as it was a fair few, but I do love the 80s muscle car aesthetic, and using that along with giving him the hallmarks of a police car is definitely a nice touch. What a lot of people don't like about this alt mode is the colour scheme. A lot of people are used to Streetwise being a bright white, whereas this is an offset grey. But I, for one, like this. I think it's quite cool. You do get some hallmark details of the Camaro here, but you do have to look closely because of that SID paint scheme. But breaking that up, you have the black windshield as well as the black windows, breaking up the colour scheme, as well as a few details picked as the indicator lights at the side of the, as well as the front. The headlights aren't painted on this, which is a bit of a shame. A lot of the paint detail, aside from that sheriff badge, does seem to have came to the rear of the car with those 80s style lights, which I adore. I think it was quite good that they filled that in, because a lot of the time with third party alt modes, a lot of the rear lights are genuinely missed. Tyres are rubber and the hubcaps are done in a nice silver that really pops on the tyres. And yeah, the figure rolls in the alt mode as you would expect and does it very well. Other gimmicks, you can open the boot. Well, you can't put anything in there, you know, that option is there for you. The doors can open, but it breaks up the mould, and to be honest, it's not really worth doing. The only issue I have in terms of QC is with the paint, and that is on the black sidebars of the car, which there's chipping on one side, but that could just be because of how I've been transforming the figure, or it could have been like that when I got it. I can't really remember. However, overall, this is a very impressive looking alt mode, and if you like your 80s muscle cars and like police cars, you can't go wrong with this figure. For alt mode comparisons, we'll keep it strictly in the Masterpiece scale. Here he is with Masterpiece Hot Rod, and I think they do scale very well. Obviously Hot Rod being a more sort of futuristic or concept car, he's going to be a bit bigger. And then we bring in Cliff Jumper by X Transbots, their version they call Toro. I think that scale's okay. Now obviously he is a mini-bot, so the size is going to be different as you would expect, but I still think they do scale quite well, as I've always seen the Camaro as a bigger car compared to the Porsche. What do you think? Let me know. Before we get into the robot mode, a lot of people do wonder where you would store Streetwise's weapon, and the only place a lot of people have seem to have figured out is to store it in just this little gap here, and that's where his blaster is. And you can't really put it anywhere else, and it is just a small standard blaster for the figure, done in one colour, and that is black. And here we have Streetwise in his robot mode. The transformation from alt mode to robot mode is standard mastermind creation affair. Everything is well thought out, well designed and well executed. You can go off the beaten path if you want when you're doing the transformation. You don't have to follow a set step to get to the desired effect, and that also works going back into. The only fiddly part of this transformation is the backpack. Now, with this transformation, you want the headlights at each side to be sitting straight and flush. This is shown in the instructions, but a lot of people miss this and just have these at an angle, but it all helps to compress that back. And it is a bit fiddly to do, and I've transformed this figure now multiple times and I still have that same stuck point when it comes to the transformation, figuring that out. But once you get it complete, and it's satisfying to complete that part of the puzzle, you get this amazing looking robot mode, and it is a very clean looking robot mode, very Sunbolt animation accurate. Sure, there are little bits they could have maybe improved upon, such as those panel lines there on the figure. Breaks up the mold a little bit, but it's nothing too drastic. And it is a very clean looking robot mode. You do have the door kibble, or rather the front of the wheel kibble hanging off, but that was part of the animation model. The back of the figure looking very clean. Mastermind Creations just meeting and living up to that Ocular Max style, that MP animation accurate style, living up to that expectation, and they've done it very well, sans the points that I made. Now, articulation on this figure. Your head will do a full 360. Your arm will also do a full 360 with a shoulder rotation to allow it to come out. You have a bicep swivel. You have a rather nice double jointed elbow. Wrist articulation will give you a full 360. You have an individual thumb digit articulation. The two bottom fingers do individually articulate, and the top two are joined together. You get a waist swivel. You don't get a nab crunch. The legs, as long as you lift up the panels, will give you the expected range of motion. You do get a nice bend at the knee, and there is of course a little bit of toe articulation. You can get some ankle articulation, but it will completely break out of the mold. So there is a few things that have been sacrificed in terms of articulation for the figure, but you still get a lot of articulation for your money, and again, there's enough there for your figure photography needs. Time for a size comparison. We'll stick with the MP scale, bringing in the classic MP Sideswipe. He does scale a bit taller than Sideswipe. Now, I don't know if that's correct or not in terms of scaling. Sideswipe is one of the older Masterpiece models, however. And there he is with his Mastermind Creations First Aid teammate, and they scale quite well together, as you would expect. And there's Streetwise holding his gun. Now, that is the only weapon he comes with. He does come with another face, but I do not know where I've put that. To pop the weapon on, it's just a little port on the hand there, and sits very nice and tight. Mastermind Creations once again hits it out the park, in my opinion, with their version of Streetwise. From the alt mode to the robot mode, the transformation, everything, as always, has been well thought out, well planned, well designed, and ultimately well executed. There is some limitations, such as on the articulation, and I do feel that the feet on the figure are a bit weak with that breakup on the mold. But that's it. That is my only complaints about this figure. Everything else hits the mark. And to be honest with Mastermind Creations, that is more often than not the case on other third-party companies out there. Now, with this figure being reissued, I thought it was a really good time to take a look at the figure, and I would recommend this figure over the X-Transbots version if you are looking to get a Masterpiece scaled Protectobot set, especially when it's combined to Defensor. Going by what they've shown us so far, that will be the best version of Defensor that you can get currently in the Masterpiece scale. But let me know what you think in the comment sections below, and I will see you again soon with another video.